Hi everyone, this is the weekly meeting. We're just having a little reflect and review here on the last week. So instead of focusing on what you didn't do, let's just focus on what we did do. So this would set a big vibration for the coming week. And what did we actually achieve? And what are we most proud of this week? What's been working well in the last week, whether it be a big or a small task, let's celebrate it. So just have a little 5 minutes and write that down. Okay, so a couple of things that I've just mentioned here was that I've been into State Fox and set it all up with my profile and been looking at the vendors that are in there to send them a valuation that we can do very easily. Found out how to get the cheap notice in place from the registry rather than paying 20 or 30 euros, which is what I was doing before. So now I've got all the details of that. If you're interested, just ask me and I'll let you know the website. Obviously the same for cadastral references. I've been to onboarding this week in Spanish just to see what it was all about and help a couple of people there, and been setting up some more groups on Facebook as I lost my main profile. I've been adding contacts to the database and following them up and growing the following on Facebook. So that's the main things that I've been doing this week. So what wasn't working so well? Well, really my Facebook wasn't working so well, seeing as it disappeared. What wasn't working so well for me was family really interfered with my first week of January. Had a lot of other things to sort out, but never mind, we've got lots of time in the mornings and in the evenings when we can get work done, so that was good. What would I like to stop doing next week that I did this week? I think I'm okay, actually. I think I'm okay. Is there anything that you'd like to stop next week that you were doing this week? Scrolling on phones on the Facebook feed, just getting into absolute rubbish, like political rubbish. Stop. Waste of time. Anything else that we need to review this week? Right, so we need to be tracking our statistics each week because what you focus on grows. And I have got like a tracking template that I use here. I'm just going to have a look here. So the main thing that we should be tracking is leads, listings, tours, contracts signed, and obviously the notary. So I have got a pipeline within my buyers and my sellers and my other agents where I can move people along. So I have a discovery call, then it becomes a warm lead, then it gets followed up and it gets a hot lead and we start touring, and then obviously you get an offer and it goes into the contract stage and then it moves into the notary stage. So how many leads have you found this week? If you can write that down in your tracking. How many tours did you do this week? How many listings did you get this week? Or you can even track how many messages that you've sent, so that it gives you an idea of how many leads you actually get from the number of messages that you do send. I literally scroll through Facebook groups finding people that are looking for properties, and also this week I've gone back onto Marketplace with a new Facebook profile, because I've been banned on Marketplace on every other profile that I've got, and I've got lots. I put only two properties up, but I've had at least 10 inquiries on those two properties that I've put up. Obviously those names now need to go into my database for follow-up and send them all the details. So that's a couple of good ways that you can get leads, is to create a new profile if you're banned and put 1 or 2 houses on the Marketplace. Don't really put any more, you'll get banned, but you can wait a couple of weeks and then put another couple. Keep posting on the okay, hang on, I've just found the thing here that so leads, listings, tours, offers, deposits, notary. Other things you might want to think about this week is education for yourself. What have you been doing training wise? I've been learning State Fox in more depth, and I've learnt I've done Immobilia and Parallel. I've been using. I've done 2 contracts today in Parallel, so I'm getting more proficient. I'm getting quicker at it. So that's the main thing. So what are we going to commit to this next week? So what do you give yourself permission to do this week? I'm going to literally be doing my horse riding and the gym. I don't know if there's something you want to be doing for your health, or your eating, or your family, or your husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. So just have a little brain dump of the things that you want to be doing this week. And what's the one habit that you're going to be fully showing up for this week? So my habit is going to be adding to the database, adding the leads to the database. So we're going to set ourselves 2 business goals and 1 personal goal for the week. So out of all the things that you've got to do, set down 2 business goals of things that you're going to get done this week and 1 personal goal, and write that down. You might want to write it down in the present tense, and you might want to write down why you want to achieve this goal this week, so that when you run out of motivation you can look back and see why you're doing that. So 1 business goal, write it in the present tense as if it's already happened, and why you're going to achieve this goal. Then you might want to break the goal down into the 5 days of the week, a little thing that you'll do each day towards hitting that goal. So write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and write down a task that you're going to do each day, non-negotiables, for your business goal number 1. So I'm just going to have a little think what my business goal will be for this week. So I think I'm going to do research about an advert for sellers to go out on the socials, emails, and maybe even write a leaflet to put through doors. So different things I'd need to do each day to make that happen. Might need to do a bit of research on what I can offer. Design presentation. Print it or send it either by WhatsApp or by email. And then make a campaign of how I'm going to distribute it. It could be scheduled in the posts. It could be an ongoing schedule, so like once a month, once every 2 weeks, it goes out automatically on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, whichever channels you're going to be using. You could put that piece of content out that you've just researched, designed and developed. So you're going to do that for 2 different business goals and also for your personal goal. My personal goal is just literally going to be about riding every day, gymming, eating. Then we need to schedule our really productive week. So head to the diary and schedule exactly when you're going to be focusing on these goals for the week ahead, and block out time for your business goals. This is when you're going to be working on your most important actions that you need to be doing. So by working with your most important actions, you've got to prioritise what's truly important and just instead of working on one huge massive to-do list. You're going to have your 3 goals that you're going to be doing and your bite-sized action that you've got to take each day towards that goal at the end of the week. And planning a week in advance feels a bit stressful at the moment. Just enter it at the end of your day what you've done. Take 10 minutes at the end of every day to just write down what you have done for the day, and then by the end of the week you can just look back and fill in the sheet next week of what you've been doing, because you might not remember now everything that you've done. So just have a little brainstorm for your most important actions for your first week, or your week that's coming, 2nd week of January, so that you know exactly what to focus on, and then you can time block it all out. And remember that decisions ahead of time will save you so much time in your head, because you won't continuously keep thinking about it. You're going to get it out of your head, which is the main thing. Anyway, hope that's a little bit helpful for you, and let's check in next week.